April 15, 2024. On a quiet evening in the small town of Maplewood, everything changes when the body of Linda Johnson, a local housewife, is discovered in her home. The scene is shocking, showing clear signs of a struggle with overturned furniture and broken glass. Neighbors, alarmed by strange noises and a desperate cry for help that suddenly stops, call the police, sending the community into a state of fear and confusion. At 28 years old, Mark Stevens is a war veteran who has bravely served his country, but now faces the daunting challenge of returning to civilian life. The trauma of his experiences has left him with PTSD, leading to nightmares and anxiety that haunt him daily. While he possesses a charming and magnetic personality, his charm often masks the emotional turmoil beneath the surface. Mark finds solace in his affair with Linda Johnson, which offers him a temporary escape from his struggles. However, this relationship is fraught with complications, as he grapples with feelings of guilt and the fear of being discovered. His past experiences shape his interactions, leading him to be both passionate and deeply conflicted, creating a dynamic that influences both his choices and his connection with Linda. Linda Johnson, at 30 years old, is a vibrant housewife who presents a facade of happiness to the outside world. Charismatic and engaging, she appears to fit perfectly into her role as a devoted wife and mother. However, beneath her cheerful exterior lies a profound sense of dissatisfaction and restlessness. Linda feels trapped in her mundane routine, struggling with the weight of unfulfilled dreams and desires. Her secret affair with Mark provides a thrilling escape from her daily life, igniting her longing for adventure and excitement. Yet, this relationship also brings about a complex emotional conflict, as Linda wrestles with feelings of love for Mark and loyalty to her husband. As she navigates her double life, Linda's internal struggles and desires shape her actions and ultimately lead to devastating consequences. Tom Johnson, Linda's 35-year-old husband, embodies the image of a hardworking family man. He dedicates himself to providing for his family, believing that financial stability equates to love and security. However, Tom is emotionally distant, often missing the signs of Linda's unhappiness. He takes pride in his job, but is oblivious to the deeper issues in their marriage, viewing life through a practical lens rather than an emotional one. Tom's devotion to Linda is genuine, yet he struggles to connect with her on a deeper level, leaving her feeling isolated. As the investigation into Linda's murder unfolds, Tom's hidden flaws and frustrations come to light, revealing the complexities of their relationship and the impact of unaddressed emotional need. His reaction to the unfolding tragedy serves as a critical turning point in the story, challenging his understanding of love, loyalty, and the realities of his marriage. The Johnson family home is a typical suburban residence that once radiated warmth and love. Adorned with family photographs capturing joyful moments, the walls tell stories of laughter, holidays, and milestones. The living room, where Linda's body is discovered, is particularly significant. It features a cozy fireplace, a large couch with cushions showing signs of wear, and a coffee table littered with magazines and children's drawings. Yet, as the investigation unfolds, this space transforms from a symbol of family life into a haunting reminder of Linda's struggles and unfulfilled dreams. Signs of hidden turmoil are revealed scraps of paper, with Linda's frantic notes about her feelings of entrapment and a bedroom that feels more like a prison than a sanctuary. The house, once a home, becomes a focal point for the investigation, embodying the complexities of Linda's life and the dark secrets that ultimately led to her demise. The murder of Linda Johnson serves as the catalyst for unraveling a complex web of hidden truths and motives among those closest to her. Detective Sarah Bennett, known for her sharp intuition and dedication, is assigned to the case. As she begins her investigation, she quickly realizes that the crime is not just a simple murder, but a reflection of the darker dynamics at play within the community. Linda's affair with Mark Stevens, a war veteran struggling with PTSD, comes to light, revealing the emotional turmoil both characters faced. While Mark initially appears to be a charming figure seeking solace, his struggles with reintegration into civilian life and the weight of his past create complications that escalate their relationship. As Bennett delves deeper, she discovers that Linda had been contemplating ending the affair, torn between her desire for freedom and her sense of loyalty to her family. Simultaneously, Tom Johnson emerges as a figure of suspicion. Initially portrayed as a grieving husband, his emotions shift from devastation to anger as the investigation unfolds. Bennett uncovers troubling evidence of jealousy and control in Tom's behavior, suggesting a darker side to their marriage. Interviews with friends and neighbors reveal patterns of emotional abuse, painting a picture of a relationship fraught with tension and unspoken resentment. As Bennett untangles the lies and secrets surrounding Linda's life, she must confront the societal perceptions of marriage, loyalty, and the repercussions of infidelity. The dynamics of jealousy and betrayal come to the forefront, leading to explosive confrontations between Mark and Tom, each grappling with their emotions and the role they played in Linda's life. The story begins when Mrs. Reynolds, a neighbor, hears loud noises coming from the Johnson home late that evening. Concerned, she steps outside and calls out to Linda, but there's no response. The strange sounds escalate, shouting, followed by a chilling silence. Alarmed, Mrs. Reynolds dials 911, reporting what she believes to be a domestic dispute. When the police arrive, they force their way into the house, only to discover Linda Johnson's lifeless body on the living room floor. The officers immediately secure the area and begin their investigation. As they gather evidence, it becomes clear that Linda had been living a complicated life. Interviews with neighbors reveal whispers of her tumultuous relationship, suggesting that she had been involved with someone outside her marriage. This revelation raises immediate questions about her relationships, as well as the possible motives behind her murder. Detectives begin to piece together Linda's recent activities, uncovering a web of secrets that hints at jealousy, betrayal, and a longing for escape. The mystery deepens, setting the stage for a complex investigation into her life and the people who surrounded her. Detective Sarah Bennett, a seasoned investigator known for her keen intuition, takes charge of the case after the shocking discovery of Linda Johnson's body. She immediately begins interviewing neighbors, friends, and family to gather information about Linda's life and the events leading up to her death. As she speaks with people in the tight-knit community, she learns about Linda's friendly demeanor and her role as a dedicated housewife, which makes the murder even more unsettling. However, as the interviews progress, the name Mark Stevens repeatedly surfaces. Many neighbors mention seeing Mark visiting Linda frequently, raising eyebrows and stirring suspicion. Detective Bennett decides to focus on him, especially after learning that he has a shaky alibi for the night of the murder. The narrative shifts to flashbacks that provide insight into Linda's life. These scenes illustrate her affair with Mark, filled with moments of passion and secrecy. We see them laughing together at a local park, sharing stolen kisses, and talking about their dreams. However, the flashbacks also reveal Linda's struggles in her marriage to Tom. She often feels suffocated by Tom's controlling nature and longs for a more exciting life. In her private moments, Linda confides in her journal about her feelings of entrapment and her desire for freedom. These reflections deepen our understanding of her character and create empathy for her predicament, highlighting the emotional turmoil she experienced leading up to her tragic end. When Detective Bennett meets Tom, he is visibly shaken and grief-stricken. He talks about how Linda was the love of his life and expresses his disbelief at her sudden death. However, as Bennett probes deeper, she notices Tom's evasiveness when it comes to discussing their relationship. His responses are often vague, hinting at deeper issues. When Bennett asks about their recent arguments, Tom quickly changes the subject, claiming they were just typical marital spats. His reluctance to confront their problems raises a red flag for Bennett, leading her to wonder if Tom is hiding something significant. Detective Bennett's investigation into Mark's alibi reveals contradictions. He maintains that he was at a veterans meeting, surrounded by friends, but as she interviews attendees, discrepancies emerge. Some witnesses remember him leaving early, while others are unsure of his presence at all. Bennett requests access to security footage from a nearby convenience store, and to her shock, she finds a clip showing Mark walking away from Linda's neighborhood just after the estimated time of the murder. This evidence raises serious questions about Mark's innocence and compels Bennett to bring him in for further questioning. In a breakthrough moment, Bennett discovers Linda's journal, hidden beneath a loose floorboard in her bedroom. The journal entries are raw and revealing, detailing Linda's affair with Mark, her fears about Tom's increasing possessiveness, and her fantasies of escaping her life. In one poignant entry, she writes about feeling trapped in a loveless marriage, questioning whether she should leave Tom for Mark. These revelations paint a complex picture of Linda as a woman torn between duty and desire, deepening the mystery surrounding her murder. Bennett realizes that Linda's internal struggles may have significant implications for understanding her death. The tension reaches a boiling point when Mark and Tom confront each other at Linda's funeral. Tempers flare as accusations fly. Mark accuses Tom of driving Linda to seek happiness outside their marriage, while Tom retaliates by questioning Mark's character and insinuating that he was merely using Linda. The confrontation becomes heated, drawing the attention of mourners and leaving them both visibly shaken. Detective Bennett witnesses this clash, noting the charged atmosphere and the animosity between the two men. This moment solidifies her belief that both men have motives worth investigating further, as unresolved emotions bubble to the surface. This detailed rising action sets the stage for the climax, building tension and intrigue as Detective Bennett navigates the complexities of relationships, hidden motives, and the truth behind Linda's tragic murder. In a tense and pivotal confrontation, Detective Sarah Bennett gathers both Mark Stevens and Tom Johnson in the interrogation room, determined to get to the truth. The atmosphere is charged with tension as the two men sit across from each other, their conflicting emotions bubbling just beneath the surface. Detective Bennett opens the questioning, probing Mark about his relationship with Linda. Under pressure, Mark reveals that he had intended to end the affair. However, he explains that Linda, feeling trapped in her marriage, had threatened to leave Tom for good. This revelation shifts the dynamics in the room, and Mark's fear of losing Linda makes it clear that he was caught in a tumultuous emotional struggle. As Bennett continues her questioning, she presents a critical piece of forensic evidence, a fingerprint found on a broken vase at the crime scene that matches Mark's. The room grows silent, the weight of the revelation hanging heavy in the air. Mark's face pales as the reality of the situation sinks in, and he stammers, trying to defend himself, insisting he didn't kill Linda. Tom, who has been quietly simmering with rage, suddenly explodes. He accuses Mark of being the cause of all his problems, blaming him for ruining his marriage and his life. The raw emotions of betrayal and hurt spill out as Tom stands, pacing the room, his anger directed at Mark. He lashes out with accusations, revealing his deep-seated jealousy and resentment. Mark, feeling cornered, fights back, arguing that Linda's choices were her own. The confrontation escalates into a heated argument, voices raised, each man revealing their pain and frustration. In this moment, it becomes clear that both men are deeply affected by Linda's death, but their responses are wildly different. Tom's pent-up rage reaches a boiling point, while Mark's fear and guilt threaten to overwhelm him. As Detective Bennett watches, she realizes that the truth is more complex than she initially thought. The emotional intensity of the moment underscores the personal stakes involved, and it's evident that both men have been profoundly impacted by Linda's life and her tragic end. This confrontation becomes the turning point, where the tangled web of lies and emotions begins to unravel, leading Bennett closer to the truth of what really happened on that fateful night. Detective Bennett meticulously reviews the evidence gathered during the investigation. Through interviews with friends, family, and neighbors, she uncovers a troubling pattern of emotional abuse in Tom and Linda's marriage. Former acquaintances recall instances where Linda appeared anxious and withdrawn, often making excuses for Tom's behavior. They mention overhearing arguments and seeing Linda's unease when discussing her husband. As Bennett pieces together these accounts, a clearer picture of Linda's struggles emerges, revealing the toxic dynamics that plagued their relationship. When Detective Bennett confronts Tom with the new evidence, his calm facade begins to crumble. Initially, he maintains his grief, portraying himself as the devastated husband who lost his wife. However, as Bennett presents her findings about his controlling behavior and the emotional turmoil Linda faced, Tom's demeanor shifts dramatically. Anger flares in his eyes as he denies the accusations, but the pressure mounts. In a moment of vulnerability, he breaks down, confessing that he often felt threatened by Linda's desire for independence and was consumed by jealousy over her affair with Mark. This emotional eruption reveals the deep-seated insecurities that ultimately led to tragedy. As news of Linda's murder spreads through Maplewood, the community grapples with the shocking revelations. Rumors begin to swirl, casting a new light on Linda's life, her affair, and the circumstances surrounding her death. People who once saw Tom as a devoted husband start to question their perceptions, reflecting on the signs they missed and the secrets hidden behind closed doors. Conversations in cafes and at neighborhood gatherings shift from sympathy to speculation, as residents struggle to reconcile the image of a happy family with the grim reality of domestic abuse. The town is left reeling, forced to confront the uncomfortable truths about relationships and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly normal lives. Detective Bennett pieces together the evidence from the investigation, meticulously examining witness statements, forensic reports, and Linda's journal. As the truth unfolds, all signs point to Tom Johnson. In a tense interrogation, he finally breaks down and confesses to killing Linda in a fit of rage. The argument erupted when he confronted her about her affair with Mark, leading to a heated exchange filled with long-held resentments. In a moment of anger, he lost control, resulting in the tragic death of his wife. Tom's arrest sends shockwaves through Maplewood. The community grapples with the reality of the murder, struggling to reconcile their perceptions of Linda's life with the darker truths that have come to light. Many residents are left in disbelief, as the seemingly perfect couple they thought they knew had hidden turmoil beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Mark Stevens faces the aftermath of his actions. Although he didn't commit the murder, he wrestles with guilt and regret for his role in Linda's life and the chaos it brought. He reflects on the brief relationship they shared, realizing how his desire for connection led to devastating consequences for everyone involved. The weight of his choices leaves him questioning the nature of love and the lines between right and wrong. The story concludes with the town slowly healing. In the final scene, Detective Bennett walks through the quiet streets of Maplewood, contemplating the complexities of human relationships. She reflects on the themes of love, betrayal, and the hidden struggles that can exist within seemingly perfect lives, leaving readers with a poignant reminder of how fragile happiness can be.